Hello everyone and welcome back to the Spiegel Mom Scraps channel. It's Caitlin here with another process video. Today we're making a super fun card. It's actually a see-through shaker card, so you'll see that you can see through the sequin shaker pocket of this card to kind of see what's in the inside. So I'm going to be using a Pink Fresh Studio stamp set and die set to create this card. Definitely recommend using either a simple shape with a paper or like a regular paper punch, or using a matching stamp and die set. This is a new one to me. I think it's called Shine, and it's this little light bulb collection. Now, one recommendation I would have is, instead of die cutting the card base first, you should die cut the front panel, so the top layer of your card first, whatever you want the front to be, whether it be white cardstock or pattern paper. I simply die cut the centered die cut with my Cuttlebug, and then I'm stamping the matching stamp set inside, so the bulb shows on the inside of the card, so you'll see that I'm stamping through the opening to make sure that it lines up properly. Next was the pattern paper for the top of the card. Now, I would recommend die cutting this first, like I mentioned, and then die cutting it through your card so they line up properly. I definitely made that little bit of a mistake, and I wish I had done that first. So I'm going to line these up after I trim this down. You'll see me kind of taping it together. So I'm going to put the pattern paper on the inside of the card so that the die is perfect. If this was a symmetrical die, you could have done it the other way around, but this die I realized was not symmetrical because it's not a symmetrical light bulb. So once that was die cut, you can kind of see it coming together. Now, when I do my shaker pockets, I've shown this in several videos before, essentially what I do is use some leftover packaging. So I have this plastic packaging, which is from an old card set that I had that I'd used up. So I'm going to be using that to hold my sequins. If you have a fuse tool, that's a great idea, or if you just have smaller pockets, definitely use those. Or you can use acetate and create your own shaker pocket. But I find these more secure and more easy for me to use, and it's helping the environment by not throwing away all that plastic. So you'll see here that I pulled out 3 sequin mixes: Pastel Pastures, Fallen for You, and Baby Butterfly, which are some of my favorites. I think Pastel Pastures from the newest release. If you guys haven't checked that out, use my code. I'll have it linked down below as always, so you can get a discount on your order. I'm just going to dump some of those into my little shaker pocket here. So we have the baby pink from the Baby Butterfly collection. Then we have the deeper pinks from the Fallen for You, as well as some more clear colors. And then we have the blues and greens that match the floral paper that I picked for the front of the card right there in that last mix, Pastel Pastures. So you'll see how it's coming together. We just have to put it together. So now that my sequins are filled up, I'm going to put this down with some ATG tape and some washi tape. I definitely want to make sure that the sequin packet doesn't go flying anywhere. So this is to ensure that it stays in place and that the sequins can't pop out for any. If one of the seams breaks, at least they're taped down so that they can't escape from the shaker pocket. Then I'm going to use some foam adhesive to bump up the pattern paper. You don't necessarily have to do this, it just depends on how big your shaker is. If you have a lot of sequins in there, you'll want to bump it up like I'm doing with some foam adhesive. But if not, if you have a relatively less sequins in there, or if you're using a glitter and sequin mix and you don't need as much, then you can definitely not use the foam adhesive and you should be fine. So you'll see I'm just going to put those there, and then that'll adhere right on top. Super, super simple. I know it looks complicated, and I know I went through it a little bit fast, but I did make a lot of mistakes that I wanted to cut out of here because you guys don't want to watch too much of me making mistakes, obviously. So that'll be lined up perfectly with the center. And the good thing about the sequin mix being in between is that if this doesn't line up perfectly, it'll be okay. The sequins kind of help cover your mistakes. And then, of course, since we have the stamping on the inside of the card, we want to finish the inside of the card, which again, you could have done before. I just wasn't sure what I wanted to put on the inside as of yet. So what I do is grab 2 stamp sets, or stamps from the stamp set. One says Shine, and then the other one I think says Time to Shine. It's your time too. So it says It's Your Time to Shine on the inside, and you won't be able to exactly see that from the inside of from the outside of the card because of the sequin mix in the way, which I think is really fun. And I did think that the outside was relatively plain, so I grabbed a stamp from the same stamp set, which has little florets on it, and they kind of match the pattern that's on the front of the paper. So I'm going to use my Arteza markers to color those in relatively quickly. Just a quick little no shading coloring and just filling those in. And I used, I think, 3 colors, a pink, a blue, and a light green, again to match the pattern paper on the outside, just to give it a little bit more interest on the front side. Even though the sequin mix, the see-through window is just a really cool aspect, I think this would give it a little bit more life and sort of give it that cohesive feel. So once these are colored, I'm going to die cut them with the matching die set. I have to say, guys, I absolutely love matching die sets, especially when making fun interactive cards like this one. and I think the see-through shaker might be my new favorite. I don't see too many people doing these relatively because I think it's harder to keep the sequins in place, but when you do the pocket method of old packaging, it helps with that issue. It keeps everything contained, or if you have a fuse tool, that'll help as well. So I'm going to glue those down, and I'm also going to use some more sequins on the outside just to give it a little bit more dimension, because right now the outside's relatively flat while the inside has that shaker in the middle. So it's a thick card because of the foam adhesive, but it's not too thick that it can't go through the mail. That's what I like about these options. So I'm going to glue those down and then have some more sequins. So I'm using some again from the Pastel Pasture, Baby Butterfly, and Fallen for You. And I'll have those sequin mixes linked down below in case you guys are interested. And if they're not in stock, we can now notify you when they're back in stock. Just click the little icon next to the sequin mix that you're interested in, and you'll get an email notification next time it's in stock. But here is the completed card. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know if you'd like to see more cards like this. I know that these are relatively difficult cards to make, but it's really easy once you get the hang of it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and be sure to subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!